Hello everybody and welcome back to the Legacy of the Rimlen. Last time was exciting as our players literally faced a mythical creature, person, creature, whatever. But before we get into what happened last time, as is usual, I'm going to ask these lovely people to introduce themselves and their characters briefly, especially since they reached what's called a significant milestone last episode, which also involves some in-game changes, upgrades, so to say. So, I rolled some dice in the background, and the very first person that I'm going to ask, according to the dice, would be Ashen. Could you please go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself and your character?
Yeah. Hello. I'm Ash, and I'm gonna be playing as Illona, my handsome, tall, exiled woman. She's on the run all the time. And since the milestone last time, I bumped up her sneaky to 4, so added 1 there. And she also got another aspect, experienced risk taker. Yeah.
Which definitely should come in handy. Thank you very much, Ashen. And next, according to the dice that I rolled, would be Show&Tell. Could you please go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself and your character?
Sure thing. Hi, I'm Show&Tell. I'll be playing as Anghel, who is has 2 milestones actually. One of which is that everybody knows his name now. Yeah. And after the milestone, he also has a 1 flashy because I feel like he needs it.
Technically speaking, there's you guys reach a significant milestone last time. There's 1 level of milestone above that called a major milestone for really big stuff. Maybe it should have been a major milestone given that with Anghel's name and all that. Yeah. Good on him. Now everybody knows that he is an angel. Thank you very much, Show&Tell. And next would be DelyGob. Could you please go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself and your character?
Of course. So, hello everyone. I'm Dely, and I'm playing the character Muninn. They are a traveling scholar from the University of Brightland, and they are a seeker of knowledge and keeper of secrets. So since the last session, their Fate Accelerate profile has been updated or upgraded, and they've had a +1 to their clever stat, I believe, if I'm remembering right.
I was actually very surprised about that. For some reason, I always thought, oh yeah, Muninn has a 3 in clever. No, he had a 3 in careful, not in clever.
Yeah.
It fits the character. So good on you. Good on you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dely. So, last time, after you guys got into another standoff with the bandits, a pro tip: don't flash massive amounts of money in front of robbers. Yeah, you talked your way out of that, and you went off on your own, accompanied by Jean, your usual companion, but you also got another person from Anghel's past. I don't think we've Show&Tell, I don't think we've said exactly who he is, so I'll keep it vague. But he's a person from Anghel's past named Joseph, who is a very talkative goofball, I guess. As well as a younger, very superstitious bandit named Miku, who it was completely accidental, warned you against a danger in the forest that is this lady right here where I'm pinging on the map, that you all, partly thanks to Miku's advice, circumvented. That does mean that she killed probably these people that you see on the map. Now, you've never directly met those people, so it's not like this is something that has a major impact on your personal stories, but they're members of nobility, so it's certainly is going to shake up the political landscape and all that, so that's a lot of fun. But and also let me put on the background music, but to set the scene of where we left off last time specifically. You guys investigated the orb in Illona's possession that you found in the ruins, like its reaction to the mother of the forest, and came to some very interesting theories. But as to what specifically you were doing, you were booking it the hell in the other direction, aka north. Now, dear players, if you would look in our little Discord on the like maps subsection thingy, once again it's updated with a bunch of new maps. You may take a look. It's not like super important, but it might inform your decisions, like, oh, I want to go in that direction and stuff like that. Just sort of above board, the sort of stated direction of like, oh, we're going to the capital to talk to the prince, would mean you're going to sort of the west, aka the left, so to say, northwest. Other than that, yeah, that's more or less where we left off. You were not so much running, but walking at a brisk pace in the opposite direction from the sounds of battle and shrieks of the dying and all of that, the usual stuff. And yeah, you in the background you hear like people shouting in pain, also some wolves shouting in pain, weapon discharges, a whole bunch of creepy sounds that you are GTFOing out of. As to your companions, Miku is horrified, and the only reason he isn't running is because you guys aren't running. Joseph is mildly concerned, but he's like following along. And Jean is more concerned, but you're the only people who like speak his language in like a 10-mile radius or whatever, so he's sticking with you. And you promise to take him to safety. So, that's more or less where we left off. Would you continue on your way to the north, or do you have any other plans? You're on the road at the moment, like where the icon of the Mother of the Forest is, if you would look at our in-game map.
I don't know about anyone else. I would probably, or Muninn, I guess, would probably keep going north. I don't know if there's anything specifically that would drive them to go any other direction.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too.
Okay.
Sure thing.
Muninn, I have one thing to ask of you. Could you teach John a bit of like our language? It would be awesome to like have a conversation with him.
Yeah, I could try my best.
Hell yeah.
That would be great.
Jean like perks up, like he recognizes his own name, obviously. And he asks Muninn, what are you talking about?
They're asking if I can teach you to learn their language.
Why?
So that they can better talk to you.
Well, they should learn my language. Why should I learn the language of these peasants?
With a shade.
Above board, you're like, usually you were speaking like Anghel's language, aka the language of the local people, which isn't like a prestigious language.
Okay.
I suppose in that case, I'd sort of turn to Illona and say like, oh, they want you to learn their language, and just sort of shrug my shoulders.
What an impasse.
I guess I just like shrug.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to, doesn't want to.
He like sees this little interaction and says, look, just if you take me to the border with Ziemulechia and we find some of my uncle's troops there, I can be off on my own. We don't need to make this into a long-term partnership, especially if it will include, and he like points towards the back where the screams are still happening.
Oh.
Oh, the pain.
Yeah.
No, we're losing a pet.
You're very far away from the border. Like, it's not like, oh, we're gonna lose him this session or next session.
Right. Okay. In that case, I suppose Muninn would tell him like, well, that is up to you, but that might be quite a long time from now. But I mean, we'll see.
He sighs and says, "Look, you. Actually, I actually did want to ask you. How come you, asking you, Muninn, how come you speak the language of these people? You're an educated scholar. And why aren't you all speaking in ancient Inkuna or Taiski or anything like that?"
That is a good question. Above board. So I suppose Muninn would.
Well, above board, Anghel only knows his language, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. Muninn would sort of ponder, I suppose, and just sort of reply with something along the lines of like, "Well, I know many languages, and this is the language that these people seem to understand, so that's the language that I speak to them."
Can you do me a favor and ask, he motions towards Illona, why she speaks the language? She definitely doesn't seem to be from here.
Okay. And so Muninn would ask Illona, like, he asks why you speak the language.
Why does Illona speak the language? Well, I think she's like stayed there for long enough to learn. So.
Muninn, do you convey that?
Yes, yeah.
He shrugs and says, "I have no idea what interests you in this land. Why don't you come with me to Zemilechia? You could, I imagine, could be a fine court lady."
Muninn would convey that.
Thank you for the offer, but I'll think about it. I'll consider it.
And then Muninn would convey that.
Working hard, huh?
He shrugs. And now that his like curiosity is piqued, he asks you, Muninn, what do you usually study? You look like a scholar, if I'm not mistaken.
Muninn would sort of nod and say, would agree and say, yes, I am a scholar. Just in case he hasn't said it before, he would sort of say, like, I study at the University of Brightland.
You mentioned, yes.
Okay. Above board, I'm not sure exactly what he would study. I think probably like he would study a lot of things, but maybe like language and like perhaps like history.
It's also like if you're a scholar in this time period, you're mainly known for like one thing, like a mathematician or a geographer or whatever, but scholars tended to like branch off in like a lot of domains, so don't feel bad if like you change your mind or whatever.
Okay, that's fine. In that case, I suppose Muninn would sort of say like, well, of course I study language, and so sorry, above board again. History wouldn't be like a wrong choice in that case.
It would not. It would be a quote unquote correct choice.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, Muninn would say I study language and history, among other things, and sort of wave their hand and be like, you know, I try and sort of.
He nods. He like definitely like is interested and like accepts your explanation, and he says, well, if you want, I'm sure we can find a position for you at my uncle's court too. Scholars are always welcome.
Muninn would sort of shrug their shoulders and nod, be like, we'll see.
He like also nods. Meanwhile, Anghel, Miku will approach you and like whisper to you, are they speaking the language of the fairies?
Anghel would kind of shrug, I guess. He doesn't know what they're speaking.
I hope it won't draw the ire of the mother of the forest.
Anghel nods.
Joseph, who was also nearby, will say, "I believe they're speaking Ziemi, my dear boy." And Mikul is like surprised and like he nods, but if you're like paying attention to his face, you realize he has no idea what that means. Okay. Above board, would you like you're continuing on north? Would you guys like to move to the map that's up north? I mostly kept it to this map, so as a sort of environmental recap of what happened last time.
I'd like to.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Sounds
think.
good.
Then give me a hot second while I do the changes. Meanwhile, please feel free to like talk among yourselves and whatever else. Okay.
Okay.
Looking at the city, like on the map above, it looks so cozy. Like I don't know, the fruit stands or sheds, whatever. It's so cute.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
It's a general marketplace.
Yeah. Civilization.
Oh yeah.
On that note, I think it would be fair to say that like this city is like the farthest Anghel has traveled out of his village.
Like he's never been to the city.
Maybe he's been, but what I'm saying is that he's never been beyond.
Beyond that. Okay. Cool.
Okay. And to sort of spoil the site of civilization, you will see on the road as you are continuing walking, several mauled corpses along a destroyed cart.
Oh,
Wowee.
man.
Oh no.
If anyone cares to inspect, they were clearly mauled by what looks to be like wolves or something like that.
So basically the
Okay.
same thing that happened behind us.
Hmm.
I
Probably.
stepped on a flower. Good.
That's a fair assumption.
Could Muninn sort of approach and inspect what is in the cart?
You don't even need to like approach. It's hay.
Oh, okay.
You can also, if you want, you can like rummage through it, but it's hay.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with that explanation. How about the people, or the ex-people, I guess?
What's your question about them?
Could I sort of inspect them and like see if they've, I don't know, like see if they have anything or if there's anything of interest other than their wounds, maybe?
Give
Loot
me-
the bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Ex-people is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
give me a careful roll, and according to the results, I'll tell you specific information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You clearly realize, they were killed by wild animals, not by people, and so they weren't looted, let's say. Like, they have all their belongings on them. If you, like, rummage through their belongings, you will see that it's two, gentlemen, let's say. They look fairly similar. They were likely related. One of them has a bag of coins, copper coins, not worth much, but it's, I guess, good to have, so to say. And they clearly look like local peasants.
Okay. In that case, I don't think Muninn would take the coins, but they would probably like, if their eyes were open, maybe they'd like close their eyes, like using the
Some
old,
of their
like,
one's face is missing, but sure.
Okay.
Oh man.
They wouldn't do it to that one.
Joseph will like mumble to himself, "Ooh, the bandits here are vicious."
I suppose Muninn would sort of say, this wasn't a bandit job. This clearly seems to be a beast attack, possibly wolves.
Oh. Well, if you, yeah, I suppose, yeah, if taking a closer look, yeah, of course, wolves, right? Just that, well, I've traveled this road for many years, and I've honestly never been attacked by wolves.
I suppose Muninn would say, well, that may be, but then there was the sorry, I forget her name. There was the lady of the forest. The mother of the forest, not the lady.
Oh, psh. It's local superstition. Don't pay too much mind to it. No offense, Anghel. No offense, of course.
Anghel looks really pissed off. It gives him the stink eye.
Joseph continues to wear his dumb, for lack of a better term, smile. Ignorant, I guess. Meanwhile, Miku is kneeling down, constantly muttering a prayer. He doesn't talk to anyone.
Oh. Well, yeah. In that case, Muninn would sort of stand up and sort of be ready to go when everyone else is.
Yeah, let's go.
The NPCs will follow along. Anghel, you also ready?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Okay. As you approach the city, I would give you a little bit of advice, so to say, though that's not the right, I guess it could be the right term. Each of your companion NPCs knows some bits of information about the city. Anghel, you also know some information as well. Feel free to ask them questions or ask me, the DM, questions about the city you're going to come up to, etc. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool.
Do you continue onwards? Do you want to stop to ask? Well, not stop, but ask a question on the road. Do let me know.
Yeah, I want to ask Miku. Miku forever.
He is he's still recovering from his fear, and he jumps when you approach him, as usual.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello.
Do you know anything about the city?
Oh, yes. It's yes. It's not. It's about harvest season. Should be people selling their crops. I imagine. There'll be also, since the army marched through, it will also be a slave market open. Yeah. Oh, there's also two monasteries here. One of them's renowned for the healing. Yeah, and also some boyars there, though I honestly don't know too much about it. What are you interested in specifically?
Is there anything we should pay extra mind to, be extra careful of?
There probably are some of the prince's horsemen in this city. They will probably try to shake us down, if I'm being honest.
Oh shit, okay.
He shrugs. Yeah.
I feel like this is a bad place for Illona to be.
Oh no, yeah.
I mean, we are heading toward the prince. Does she know that? Does she realize that?
Also keep in mind that this is a backwater of the world. The intrigues of Tivian nobility are not a daily subject here.
Okay.
Not saying there wouldn't be perhaps someone that might recognize Illona, but it's unlikely, because you're in this backwater for a reason, pretty much.
I put my hood up either how. Like, not suspiciously, but it's like a hunter or something.
Miku sees that and adjusts his own hat.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you proceed onwards? Do you ask any more questions? Do let me know.
I think Muninn would proceed onwards.
Yeah.
I have a question to you. Is it any libraries in the city?
I don't think Illona would know that.
Okay. Right.
Muninn and Anghel would know something about that, but not Illona.
Okay.
Does
Can I
Illona?
just ask it like generally to the group? Like, does anybody know if there's a library?
Miku asks, "What's a library?"
Where you store the books, man. It's like all the books.
So, like a monastery?
I don't know what that is.
Anghel and Muninn, you would know that like books, like they're common like in other regions of the world, but not here. Like people are, including the nobility, are barely literate here.
Alright.
Not saying they're like primitives or whatever, but the written word is mostly a thing of like priests and merchants, not so much like nobility or the common people.
Okay.
So in the monastery there are books?
Yeah, monasteries are well known. You would also know this, Anghel. They're well known for like their industry, for lack of a better term, of making manuscripts.
Yeah. Okay.
They are also very. They tend to be also very valuable. That's why if you look at our in-game map, you see that the only like fortified places are, well, there's a fortress and monasteries, because monasteries tend to be looted because the manuscripts are very valuable.
I don't know. Okay.
Because I was thinking about like the warp, if we could read up on something.
Good thinking, but you're in the wrong place, part of the world, I guess. Well, there could be something. I shouldn't say that, but yeah, there isn't like a university or a library or whatever.
I see.
Do you continue onwards?
I think so.
Okay. Give me a moment to first off change the background music and also put some NPCs on screen. Give me a hot second, please. The music might be quiet at first. Sorry about that, but it is playing. So the first thing you see, the forest is like very linked up to the city, so to say. Like there's no clear separation between the two. You start to see houses and like people going about their business, and at the entrance of the city, you see two of these gentlemen.
Okay.
Are those the horsemen or just guards?
You would know that like professional guards aren't really common, so they're probably both horsemen and guards, so to say.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And yeah, when they do you continue on your approach? Do let me know.
Oh,
I feel like. Should we? Do you guys think we should approach normally, or do you think we should like? I don't know. Is there another entrance into the city, or method of getting into it rather?
Either you like walk through the forest into like another one of the roads, or you like sneak in through people's backyards.
Right. Okay.
I guess we can take the forest option, just like a different tiny road.
Yeah.
Of the NPCs, like your companions, they all look like a little bit relieved, like, oh, we don't want to be in the forest. This is, as you put it, civilization, so to say. But they will obviously follow along with whatever you wish.
Okay. So yeah, should we do that then, or should we go through someone's backyard?
I mean, I'm down for both, to be honest.
Yeah, I am too. Should we try the sneaking in kind of way through the backyards, or?
I mean, I guess we can. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
cool.
That
All
one.
right.
I feel like that could draw attention, though. No.
Yeah.
I mean.
We don't even know if this guy's like gonna ask us anything, but
Okay. Do you try to sneak in like via some of the houses, like on this portion of the road, or do you like take a short detour through the forest and then go sneaking in?
short detour maybe.
Yeah.
Think so.
Yeah,
Sense.
possibly. Yeah, the detour.
Like away from the road a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. You continue on through the forest instead, circumventing the guards. And you see, like, people going about their business as usual. Your NPC companions look fairly confused. Miku will say, "Is it because of the shakedown thing I said?"
Muninn would nod.
Well, it should be only like 5 courage per person, but sure. I mean, I like my money, so I don't mind. Jean is visibly confused, but follows along. Joseph is oblivious as usual, and also follows along. Yeah, at this in this portion of well, actually, are you like going to sneak more through the west or the eastern side?
I feel like it would be western, but I don't know. Like, what do you guys think?
Yeah,
Sorry,
I think so too.
what's that? Yeah, western. That's right. I had to think for a minute.
Yeah. Through the western side, you will see mostly sort of peasants' homes. You don't see like, oh, that's the home of like a boyar or a monastery or like an important place. It's mostly peasant homes. So let me. I should mention there aren't like any fences, so you could just like walk in, so to say, but you'd have to like walk in through their backyard, pretty much. So.
Can I do a roll real quick to like scan if there's any people or people looking outside the windows and stuff?
Well, give me a careful, but the result of that careful won't be like, do you see people, but rather it'll be like a game of chance. If you get a good roll, it'll be a house where like nobody's home, for instance. And if you get a bad home, you'll have to sneak. Okay?
Shit, okay.
That
Oh, nice.
is the second best possible roll. So,
Yeah! Let's go!
yeah, you walk by a house where you see nobody's home, probably at the market that Miku mentioned. You only see like a sleeping old woman in sitting in a chair on the front porch. It should be fairly easy to sneak by.
Okay.
Nice.
Let's go for it.
Miku says, I don't usually rob old women, but if that's what we're doing, sure.
Hell no, we're not gonna rob her. Just to pay the fee.
Oh, okay. That's unusual, okay. Give me all of you sneaky rolls, and I'll roll an old woman careful.
Okay.
Awesome. Next pet, maybe?
Oh no.
Okay. Muninn. Should I also roll for the NPCs, or should we roll with Munin's failure, unless he wants to improve his roll?
how would I improve it? Just looking at my aspects. Should we do NPC roles as well, or?
Yeah, sure. This I'm rolling for Miku first. It will take me a couple seconds to pull up each NPC stat. So give me a second. So Miku first.
Okay.
Let's go, Miku. I believe in you. You can do this.
She manages. Okay. Next is Joseph, who has a sneaky of 1. Fun.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Just don't
Very
start
wild,
singing.
Oh no.
Okay.
Crap, Joseph.
And let's see what Jean, yeah, that's his name, what Jean does. He also has a sneaky of 1.
Huh.
Okay.
Oof, yes.
Above board, if it was like only Muninn failing, I was still going to give it to you all because it's a sleeping old woman. She probably won't like wake up. But with 3 people, so like half of you failing.
No.
Damn it.
So I guess let's go in like the order that the rolls happen. So who rolled first? Muninn actually rolled first.
Yeah.
Anghel and Illona, you would manage to make your way through, but Muninn, who would go first, would probably like stumble and fall, making a loud noise. The old woman like stirs in her sleep. Anghel and Illona, you probably like either like try to subtly pick him up or like move along. And then Joseph says, "Oh, Muninn, you've fallen." and Jean would ask in his native language, "Why are we sneaking? What's going on?"
Oh no. I'm so
I've
sorry.
fallen and I can't get up.
And
I think they drank beer too, or something.
Yeah.
the old woman stirs. You guys have a moment to react before like she reacts.
Oh.
Like, what do we say? My dog went that way. Hold up real quick.
Yeah. I'm not sure what to say.
I'm kind of envisioning them, kind of like all huddled together, having these faces on them. Like, I don't know.
It's good. It's good.
Also, reaction doesn't have to necessarily be speaking.
Maybe we just go.
Yeah. So I think like Moon would like sheepishly wave and then try and sort of sneak, or not sneak off, but like walk off.
Like the Pink Panther move, like with the paws up and like super high knees. I'm envisioning that. Just like wave and just like jump away. That's so good.
So, just so I have like a clear picture, you're trying to like, oh, she spotted us, we're running, or are you just wave and then continue like tiptoeing out as she like stares at you? Which one is it?
Yeah, the second one, I think.
I think this so a mixture of both, so like wave but then like tiptoeing like fast,
Yeah.
Okay. The old woman will scream. Let me roll how loud she screams.
No!
Damn it.
Oh no.
Apparently, she is also almost mute. You see a look a look of panic on her face. She opens her mouth. It's clear that she's about to scream and comes out.
Oh, poor old woman.
She like points her finger at all of you. It's shaking. She can barely hold it up, and she's still like staring at you wide with her mouth wide open, desperately trying to scream, but barely anything comes out.
That's a pretty like horrifying like image.
Yeah.
To be honest. In which case I'd use that opportunity, or Muninn would use that opportunity to like run away, or like to get away at least.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Miku will follow, as will Joseph. He will say, "Sorry about this," as he follows along. Jean gives an elegant bow as he follows along. Anghel and Illona, what do you two do?
I think I'm already gone by then.
Well, I did say that you two were not spotted, so you have like greater liberties in that regard. Okay. First obstacle cleared, let's say. Now I need another one of you. You guys decide. You'll need to go through another backyard, so to say, before you reach sort of a road. So can any of you give me a careful to see how difficult this will be?
Which one of us?
I don't mind doing it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. What? There we are.
Hell yeah. Let's go. Another sleeping lady.
Yeah, this time it's a sleeping old man and a very old sleeping dog.
Oh, cute.
Give me more sneakies, please, if that's what you're doing.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Oh!
What?
Okay.
How did I get a 0?
Let,
Oh no.
let me roll for your companions. First off, Miku.
We're so fucked.
Miku ties, so a tie and an overcome is Miku succeeds at a negative cost. So while I think about that, let's see how the others do. Jean fails also,
Yeah.
and Joseph also fails. So
It's just
I'm the only
We're
one
just
and
hopeless.
Miku-ish.
maybe, I don't know, it's like you guys have to like sneak through a narrow passageway through some houses. And which one of you rolled first? Muninn would probably like stumble on something and he would fall. Anghel would stumble on him and he would fall. Miku would barely sidestep you, but he would also fall on something. And then Jean and Joseph would stumble on you four, and yeah, you are lying in a pile. Only Illona is scot-free, as well as Miku, who can make an easy getaway. But you all, once again, are staring down another old person, this time accompanied by an old dog, as they're waking up.
Why?
Ilona probably asking herself why she's stuck with, like, why she's tagging along with us.
By the way, both of these old people, I gave them like a careful of 0.
Wow.
Oh.
So what's your move as this old man and his dog begin to wake up?
I guess we need to get up. Like, get off me. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Although we don't speak the same language.
Yeah, just sort of try and like get out there as quick as possible, sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Then can Anghel and Muninn give me quicks while I will roll for the dog's quicks, because he will charge at you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh.
It's an old dog.
A really old dog.
It barely stirs.
Aww.
We're so lucky. I'm telling you, it's insane. Like we.
It,
But will the old man charge you?
the dog lets out like weak barks at you that are barely audible. The old man gets up, takes his staff, and says, "Who are you people? What are you doing in my backyard? I'll have you know I built this house 70 years ago, and I've lived here ever since. Even with all the raiders and all the armies, I won't sell my house to anyone. Are you from the Boyar Niku? Are you?"
Oh no.
By the way, did you guys understand what I was saying, or was I too...
I understood.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we yeah.
Wait a
That was a
Very cool.
solid old man impression, I have to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that. I guess we just, I guess Anghel like kind of shakes his head and pushes pushes to get out. I don't know. We just like honestly so lucky.
I'm going to also roll for the old man to see if he... Like, if you guys don't respond, he will also try to, like, smack you.
Gosh.
We deserve it.
And he fails. Oh, actually,
Okay.
I should also roll for your companions, to be fair.
Oh no.
What's their quick? Jean has
Does that count for the dog too?
the dog got a 0, the old man got a 2.
Oh yeah, okay. So
Jean has a quick of 2.
there's hope.
He makes it. For Joseph, give me a second. He also has a quick of 2. He barely makes it, but he does. But he probably... Again, something negative will happen. He probably, like, stumbles once again and, like, hurts himself, but he's fine.
He steps in dog shit.
Oh, that's a good
Roll
one.
on deck.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. So, at this point, yeah, I think you guys will be able to join up into a road at the cost of your dignity and some dog poo. Oof, that was awkward, says Joseph.
Yeah, it's, tell me, like, Muninn would be like, tell me about it.
He's like
I think
trying
Illona-
to scrape off the dog poo on the dirt.
Illona looks very amused. She's like this was like a show for her. She's very happy about it.
Oh yeah, Miku also hasn't failed either of those, so he also like stands there like, looking at you like, oh, how come you failed? Pretty much. So to like describe the scene, I think you'd come up like close to the market, like where I put your companions. You can see on the map, like the big houses, like say, this one that I'm pinging on the map. It's clearly like a boyar's home, like a noble estate, so to say. And there's also a church right here, and there's the market right here. You can also ask your companions questions. You can move along with your day. The world's your oyster.
I think going into the church with the orb would be kinda an experiment.
Okay.
Probably nothing will happen, but still. Maybe there's some relic or something in there.
We can try that.
Yeah.
Sure. Joseph, as he sees you walking in the church, he like stops and says, "I'll check out the market. I don't think I'll be welcome there. Meet back up here in a couple minutes."
That's good.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think he'll cause trouble.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I did mention he's a merchant. I don't know how much trouble. A market is like his home ground, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Jean would also enter. You see, Miku would also enter with you into the church. Miku, like, when he enters, he like kowtows basically. He like bows down, forehead to the ground, and he makes a step, he bows down again. He's very clearly a very faithful person. Yeah, and it's not like a Sunday, so to say. So it's not like a church day. So like, you would see a priest who would like give you a nod, but he will not disturb you unless like go to him. Any questions? Anything you'd like to do?
There's no other people in church. It's just the priest.
Just the priest, and well, not a priest. He's talking to another priest.
Okay.
But they're not like talking like the sort of like the altar or whatever. They're like to the side.
Okay. Oh no, is there any like sort of like artwork or anything on
The walls are painted with murals.
Okay.
Okay, Anghel's definitely looking at them then.
Yeah, they are. Anghel, you would definitely recognize. Well, actually, how much attention do you usually pay in church?
To the murals, I think that's, he's just interested in the art. Mostly.
The painter is clearly different, like the art style is different, but you recognize pictures of saints and like various depictions of like historical events that maybe the priest rambles on about sometimes.
Yeah.
The priest in your village, that is. Yeah, it's more ornate than the church in your village, I will say, but it's not like it's massive or whatever in any way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd sort of like to ask the priests if there's like any orb in the scriptures that they know of, but like I won't mention that I have it. More like, hey, my friend said something about an orb. He had a dream or something. What do you know about it?
Very subtle.
Yeah.
A friend of a friend. Like.
So you approach the two priests that are talking? Okay.
Yeah.
They like turn to you, and one of them is standing, one of them is sitting. The one who's standing will say, "Blessings of the free to you, my child. How can I help you?"
I will convey what I said before, yeah.
They
Just like ask.
look at each other and say, "That's a very unusual question, child." The one who's sitting says, "Have you been consorting with demons, child?"
Oh,
No. No, I'm asking for a friend.
Young people these days don't understand that witches aren't to be talked to, that demons aren't to be consorted with. I swear, every time in confession, one of them comes and says, "Oh, I've asked the witch on the west side of town to put a hex on the guy who stole my girl," or whatever. It's preposterous, I tell you. He's like monologuing to the other priest.
I'm like asking, is it a witch thing then? Like,
the priest who's sitting continues to monologue about like pagans and about how the children these days don't know anything, etc., etc. The one who's standing will just casually point at some of the murals in the church. And,
I'll go there.
I mean, you can just look up, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, you will see there are various murals that, again, it's like various images of like saints and their deeds throughout history, as well as pieces of the history of the church. How familiar are you with like the history of the church?
A bit.
Okay.
Not like that much, but some.
You would recognize like various artwork depictions of like, especially like in the areas that depict like early history, like ancient history. You see like various priests who are praying together, and as they are praying, the artwork depicts a soldier holding an orb that looks very similar to the one in your possession, like cowering in fear and dropping his weapon.
Oh.
And the priest who like pointed at those says, as you can see, the orbs are ancient history. So I think my friend asked you a very valid question if you've been consorting with demons, child.
Oh, okay. I suppose the only thing Muninn sort of could ask, could think to ask is like, so. Actually, I'm not sure. I was gonna say like maybe something along the lines of like, also they're not very, so they're very rare, obviously.
The priest who's sitting says, they're artifacts of demons. I tell you, demons, and they're from a bygone era, and they should stay bygone. Pah. And the priest who's standing says, well, they're artifacts of the ancients of the Rimlen. What do they have to do with present day? Did a demon show them to you in your dreams?
Muninn would say, oh, actually, well, I don't know if Muninn knows about this, but technically, yes, right? Like to Illona.
Did Illona talk about her dream? I genuinely don't remember.
No, I'm like trying to keep it as far away from me as possible in case they go like bazonkers and want the whole city on for that. Like I'm like, a friend told me about it. I'm just interested.
Yeah.
On a semi-related note, can any of you give me a careful roll difficulty 6 to see if you notice something?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anghel's also welcome if he'd like.
Ah.
Okay.
Is it something important? Can I ask?
If it's a difficulty 6, that's...
Well, difficulty 6 relates to like... difficulty 6 means it's something that's barely noticeable.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's as much as I can say about that. So the priest just asked you, the more reasonable priest asked you, did a demon give you a dream about an orb or something?
Okay. Muninn would say... Sorry.
Yeah, did he ask Muninn or Illona? I don't remember.
I think technically Muninn,
Okay.
because I was the last one to speak.
Okay.
I believe. But if Illona wanted to answer, then I don't mind. But I mean, I sort of have an answer like ready, if that makes sense.
Right. As long as you keep it far away from us.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Cool. And keeping it in that case, yeah, I'm not sure if keeping it. I was gonna say something like, or Muninn was gonna say something like, well, no, we haven't sort of had any dreams or anything, but like Muninn's a traveling scholar, and part of their studies is to study the orbs. But then if that goes against like keeping it away from us, then
No, hell yeah, that sounds really good.
That sounds good. Okay, cool. Yeah, in which case, yeah, Muninn says that.
Why would you study the orbs? Are you a demon worshipper? They should remain in the past along with the pagan practices of the past. What's wrong with you?
I'm not a demon worshipper, but funny you should mention, I am a
demon.
I am a demon, yes.
A speed demon. Throw back to the old episode.
Oh my god, yeah. It all ties together. But no, like Moon would say like, I'm not. No, but I am a student or a scholar of the University of Brightland, and one of my
So you're a heretic then. Just a heretic.
ooh, so that would sort of take Muninn aback and be like, well, no, but I am a person of knowledge, and history is one of my many teachings. So we're just curious. My friends and I are helping me, and we're just curious about the orbs.
The priest who's sitting, aka the more stubborn one, continues like bumbling to himself. Now we've got heretics in our town, schismatics. Puh, what's our princedom come to? And the one who's standing like gives you like a look like I don't trust you. You know like the people in Brightland, Muninn, like you're all like believers in the free, but it's a religious schism that like divides these lands. So these people follow a different tradition than yours, and apparently these priests care very deeply about specific traditions. So the priest who's standing will say, well, tell me, dear scholar, dear traveler, which tradition of the church do you follow? Do you follow the true faith, or are you a schismatic?
I suppose Muninn, if anything, would follow the true faith. But out of character, I'm not entirely sure.
Out of character, you would. Your people wouldn't, but would not. Like,
Okay.
definitely not. But if Muninn's an outlier, then sure.
I would probably say Muninn is to the priest, but that would. I'm not sure if it's best to lie in this situation, just in case he doesn't believe me.
If you lie, I will require a sneaky roll.
Yeah. I would probably say, I would probably try my luck and lie and say, oh, I'm part of the true faith.
Okay, then give me a sneaky, please, and I'll roll a priest careful.
Oh, okay. Well,
Like scratches the back of your head. Oh, definitely.
yeah.
Ah, shit.
The priest who's sitting is continuing to ramble in his own world, barely paying attention. He's an older gentleman. The one who's standing says, "Look, my family may have been peasants, but I know my geography. The people in Brightland are not believers of the true faith."
In that case, Muninn would sort of shrug and be like, "Oh, well."
Why do you feel the need to lie?
Muninn would say, "I feel like we're already kind of getting off on the wrong foot, and I don't want sort of any conflict between us and you two, like as in the two sort of priests."
They look at each other. They're a little bit shocked. You're basically suggesting that we could go to violence in the house of the free. That's they look shocked that you even suggest that.
In that case, I think not like Muninn would clarify, not as in anything would happen, but I just mean
Relax.
I would prefer good relations between us.
The priest who's sitting will rise up slowly, and he'll tell the other priest, "You handle them. I don't have the patience anymore for these people." And he will walk away. He will go. It's hard to describe the term in English, but he'll go to a section of the church that's off limits, so to say. While the priest who's standing will let out a deep sigh and say, look, I have nothing against your people, and your faith, but you're right that we got off on the wrong foot. So, quite frankly, why should I trust you?
By the way, if anyone else wants to answer, then feel free. But if not, then Muninn would probably say Muninn would probably try and I suppose he's already at ease, but try and reassure the priest and say, well, we're just curious travelers, and as I mentioned, I'm a scholar of the university, so we just seek knowledge, we just seek knowledge, and we're just sort of basically looking around, so to speak. We're new to this. Well, actually, not necessarily new to the city. Some of us are, some of us aren't. But you know what I mean. Some of us have been here before.
Do they not teach about the history of the church in your lands?
I imagine.
How much would Muninn know so that I can inform your character?
Probably not a whole lot, but
okay.
At least surface level.
Okay. Then what the priest told you and what these paintings in the church say pretty much lines up with what you know, but again, you have a surface level understanding.
Okay. Just to clarify as well, what the priest asked Muninn a question, didn't they, or not?
He asked because you asked him about the orbs, etc.
Okay.
He asked you a question oh, that's a fairly not easy, but a fairly well-known topic. Do they not teach about that in where you're from, pretty much?
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. In which case, Muninn would sort of explain they do, but kind of, but I personally only have a surface level understanding.
Well, there's always time to learn, I suppose. So, well, I'm also not a scholar of these matters by any means. If you'd like more information, there are 2 monasteries in the city, one for men and one for women. They have more books than our humble church does, but I suppose if you have any questions, I'll also do my best to answer.
Okay.
Just a question. Sorry.
No,
just
you
a
go
question. Above board, Acacius is a pagan god.
You probably would not know who Acacius is.
Okay.
Muninn.
Do we know that?
Muninn might. What's your question? I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, I'm just trying to we heard his name, right? They mentioned him, I think, the skeletons or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. I mean, I'm just wondering if when they're talking about demons, they mean whatever.
Right.
I don't know, the god.
Could they mean Acacius?
Well, Muninn, how much? And Illona, I guess. Anghel, I don't think would know because it's not taught in church. But
yeah, he wouldn't.
Muninn and Illona, how much do you know about ancient mythology and religion? I'd say. What did you say, Muninn?
I think Muninn would. I feel like that would be right up Muninn's alley, and they would probably know quite a bit.
Yeah, you would know that Acacius was one of the main deities, one of the main gods of the ancient Rimlen and the ancient Yana people. They are a god that's associated with a lot of domains. anything from archery and poetry to the sun to daylight, to just light in general.
Okay.
But if it's just a surface level understanding, you might not know more.
Okay.
Illona learned that he likes receiving wolf and hawk sacrifices, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious as to see. I feel like this may or may not be what Show&Tell was again alluding to, but I'm curious as to see like if that is who the priests are referring to when they say like demons and stuff. But
Yeah, that's basically.
yeah, okay.
Do you like speculate on your own, or do you ask the priest who do you refer to as demons?
Yeah, I guess the best way to I was wondering how I would ask the priest, but that would be the best way I think, is to ask like who is it, like more vaguely or broadly rather than specifically dropping names.
He once again like gives you a look like, really, you don't know this? And he like says, well, demons, the devil sends his demons to deceive the good people of the earth by taking on the forms of various ancient gods, various ancient spirits.
Okay.
Until the free showed us the truth.
Okay, I think that answers my question. The question.
Oh,
I believe, yeah, that is the case.
that's interesting.
Well,
So it could be not the god. He's saying the priest, but it's not the real god.
the priest is more like lumping anything that's not of the part of the free, that is like worshipped as a demon. Like he's saying,
Right.
demons deceive people into worshipping stuff that's not the free. That's basically his idea.
Okay.
But
Okay.
again, this is just what this priest believes. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's right or wrong.
Right.
Okay, that's interesting. I think Muninn would. I don't know if Muninn has any more to say, so they would like. I probably like, especially in regards to like offering to visit the monastery. They would.
The
sort
priest
of
will
nod
also
and say,
like motion towards the murals, like specifically the one where like various ancient priests with their prayers are like forcing a soldier holding an orb to the ground, and he will say, since you asked about the orbs were tools of the ancient demons, and the good faith of the free drove them out.
Oh, actually,
Right.
no, I do have one more question, but then again, this would be. Oh no, actually, I was gonna say this might be another case of what if a friend of mine, like like that sort of thing. But Muninn would probably ask like, so if these orbs were to be, and of course I know like this is probably just like the priest's opinion or whatever, but like, if these orbs were to be sort of unearthed or discovered today, like what kind of consequences would that sort of impose?
Well, it would mean that a devil has chosen this method, odd as it is, to try to sway the good people of the earth to the devil's cause, to sin.
Okay.
I mean,
Um,
the orb is not reacting in any way to the fact that we're in a church, right?
I mean, do you inspect the orb? It's in Illona's bag at the moment.
Yeah.
Can I like? I'm gonna be like, thanks for the chat, and go behind the stairway or something. Just like check on the orb.
This is actually the careful roll I asked you earlier. You will notice that while the orb was like ever since you picked it up from the ruins, it was like in a sort of standby state, so to say, for lack of a better term, like it was giving off subtle light. In here, it's like completely dull, no light whatsoever.
Okay.
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 So they definitely don't mesh the faith in this power.
You could come to that assumption.
Now we know.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Are we done here? I don't have any more questions for the priests.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, yeah, neither do I. I believe I'm. I believe I'm done here.
Do we have like above board? Like I'm done too, more or less. Do we have like some kind of symbols or whatever, like a cross or something?
Yeah,
for
there would
the faith?
be equivalent symbols, so to say. Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if like they would affect the skeletons, for instance, or something.
Ooh, good thinking.
Yeah, possibly.
Of your like companion NPCs, because like two of them joined you in the church. Like Miku, all the while, like again, he takes a step, then kowtows and like says 5 prayers, takes another step, and so on and so forth. He is just about now making it to the front of the church. As for Jean, he's just like looking around, half curious, half bored.
Okay.
Right, should we head off?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Before we leave, obviously, Muninn. I think I said this earlier, but Muninn would say like sort of thank you, like for your time to the priest.
Blessings of the free to you.
Muninn would like awkwardly be like, and to you.
He nods. And he like smiles and says, that is the correct greeting. Do you leave this church?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. You leave the church. Your companions follow. Miku, like, doesn't like kowtow every step of the way, but like every 2 steps he like makes a short bow instead as you exit the church. And John looks at you and says, I didn't take you for people of faith.
Sorry, does he speak everyone else's language?
No,
or was
just
no?
Just his language that only Muninn understands.
Okay, I should probably make a note of that, to be honest. Muninn would say, not of this. I'm not of this faith, no, sort of thing. But then I'd convey to everyone what he said.
He shrugs. So where to?
I personally would probably head to straight to like the nearest, the appropriate monastery.
If you would look on the map, there's this one as well as this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the priest would have mentioned that this one to the east is the men's monastery, the one to the west is the women's monastery.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Yes, I got to the women's.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean that like visitors of the opposite gender are forbidden, just that the monks are only of that gender.
Aha, I see, okay.
I see. I personally wouldn't mind, like, I'm just wondering whether or not they would hold separate, like, differing information. So I suppose it probably wouldn't hurt if some of us went to the one and others went to the other, you know?
Yeah.
Joseph is also lost in the market at the moment. Well, not lost, but you know.
Yeah.
Little troublemaker.
Yeah, but he wouldn't. I mean, I think we can leave him for now.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay. I would probably head to obviously this one, the one to the east.
So the men's monastery.
Yeah.
I'll go to the other one.
Mm,
What about Anghel and what about your two companions?
I don't know.
I don't mind going alone to the one that Muninn's going to.
Alone.
Yeah.
I can bring the rest to me.
Yeah.
So, just to be clear, Anghel and Jean and Miku would be going with Illona?
It seems like it.
Well,
Yeah,
it's your
unless-
choice. Your choice.
Yeah. Unless you want to go to this one with me. Anghel.
I mean, honestly, Anghel can't read, so I don't know how much help he can
well.
be.
You can look at pictures.
Yeah.
um,
Did you want to come with me so that Muninn has someone to read to?
okay,
Okay, cool.
sure.
And
Do you want to take Jean as well? Because I can't talk to him.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah.
I'd like to think that we're just like debating this while they're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I'll take Jean.
Oh,
With
it's a date for Miku.
me. Yeah.
Ooh.
Totally didn't plan this. I swear.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you have any preferences on which group? Because obviously we can't talk at the same time. Which group should we broach first?
I don't mind at all.
Yeah, I don't mind either.
I know.
What's it? Should we roll on that or?
Yeah, I was thinking that actually.
You can roll while I put NPCs on screen. You can let's just do like a straight D20 roll. So /roll space D20. Okay.
Okay.
Dash roll. Oh gosh. Look at
Oh
that.
wow, that was pretty good.
I can't see at the moment because I'm putting NPCs on screen. Can you tell the
Fine.
audience what you rolled? Because the audience can't see either.
Oh, okay. So I, Deli, rolled a 9 and Ashton rolled a 15.
You wanna roll 2, Anghel?
Okay. Wait, dash.
/roll space.
Slash. Sorry.
Yeah. /roll space D20.
Maybe you get a 20. Oh.
It looks like Ashton's going first. Show&Tell rolled a 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the audience can see now. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just making sure.
Okay. So, Illona, you start making your way. Miku, if you pay any attention to him, he constantly looks like he's trying to say something, but he like rethinks what he wants to say. Like, he opens his mouth, then shuts it again. Few more seconds pass. He opens his mouth again, then shuts it again, and so on and so
Okay.
forth.
I think I'll just let him. If he gets the courage, he decides.
Eventually, he'll ask, "So, what's your name?"
Oh, I didn't tell you. I'm Illona.
Oh, Miku. I told you mine actually. Yes. Hello.
I remember. Hi.
He smiles and nods and says, "Right. Right."
As we're like walking, I'm gonna tell him that he makes really tasty squirrels. I'm all about them.
Oh, thank you. Well, you kind of have to make do. Well, a forest bandit living.
I see.
Complicated like that. Well, do you eat squirrels often? No, that's a dumb question. That's a dumb. Never mind. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna ask him like how he got into the bandit life. as we're walking as well.
He says, seemed like a good idea at the time. Afina, the bandit leader lady, when she asked me, she said that we'd be robbing rich snob foreigners, and sounded good at the time. I don't like rich snob foreigners.
I see.
No offense. I know you're a foreigner, but you don't seem like a rich snob.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's not the most glorious lifestyle, but you make do. We used to work for the guy who died in the forest. I think one of his relatives lives in the city. Maybe, actually, might not be a good idea to let them know. Don't know what will happen. Well, I guess if when Afina reaches the ruins and they come back with all those gold coins, I guess we won't need to go banditing anymore. So I guess there's that.
I hope she makes it back okay.
Well, why wouldn't she?
Oh. I mean by like other robbers and stuff, man.
We usually don't mess with each other. I know there's a gang that prowls the forest near those ruins, but we are usually on good
Guy with a broken arm, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
The guy
Good
that couldn't
times.
blind.
The very same. Would you talk about anything else until you reach the monastery?
I don't think so.
All the while, same thing. Like he would constantly try to open a subject, and he would second guess himself and shut up at the same time. Eventually, you would make it to the monastery, and as the priest said, you see several nuns there, and they like nod their head to you, and Miku is casually starts explaining, when you enter the monastery for the first time, you're supposed to do this gesture and then this gesture, etc., etc. Like he's monologuing about religious rituals that you should observe.
Okay. I pay attention to it. I don't know if it full-heartedly do every single gesture, but I just in a very casual manner maybe do them.
He's blathering, honestly. It becomes white noise at one point. And as you walk into the monastery, I suppose the only notable characters you would see at the monastery, as I put them on screen, would be the nun that you already see, as well as this lady who does not look like a nun, and the two of them seem to be talking about something. You sort of see that they're standing at the entrance of the church itself. The monastery has a courtyard of sorts.
Okay. Can I pretend to be very interesting and something close to them and kind of eavesdrop?
Give me a careful, and I'll oppose with a generic sneaky, because they're not trying to be sneaky.
Woo!
They're talking. They seem to be talking about the overall politics of the region now that the war is over, and apparently they're saying something about how the prince is expected to go to beyond to the newly conquered lands at some point. Something around those lines. And they also, at one point, the lady to the left mentions, maybe we should pay a visit to the market at one point. Do you need any slaves? And the nun shrugs.
Nothing too interesting for me there, I think. Can I search the books were like.
Well, they're not like open to the public.
Oh, okay, I see.
Again, these are very valuable items, like treasures, pretty much.
Okay, then I'm gonna go forward to the nun and ask, I guess for permission to study. I got the task from a very rich man to do this, so I gotta study. Huh?
You approach the two of them because they're still talking, and like they look at you. The nun gives you like the customary blessings, and you ask, "Hey, can I study your books?" And she says, "We don't usually." Who are you, if I may ask?
I'm the assistant of a researcher, and I would need to do this since he doesn't have the time.
A researcher? What's the researcher doing here?
He found something interesting, and I'm not one to disclose what it is yet, but maybe we can read about it later.
They look... Well, the nun specifically looks confused. She doesn't look like, oh, maybe are you a heretic or something like that. She just genuinely looks confused. The lady next to her will ask, You're not from here, are you?
No, I'm not.
Can I ask where you're from?
I've been traveling for a long time, so I'm basically from everywhere by now.
This is perhaps a dumb question, but do you have any relations with the Caramel Court? You look the type to, well, have relations in the right places.
Can I tell her, yeah, you're right, that was a dumb question, and just leave it at that?
She shrugs. As to the nun, she says, well, child, you're asking to see our most valuable items. I sympathize with whatever it is you're looking for, but I can't just hand them away.
You don't need to hand them away. I can sit here and just, like, read.
Give me a careful roll. And then I'll oppose with her careful.
Right.
Hell
yeah.
Okay. She appears to consider this and says, "Oh, very well, but I'll ask one of the other sisters to stay by your side while you do this."
Sure, sounds good.
Yeah, and you would leave these two. She would like appoint one of the sisters to like guide you in the right direction. And you would be taken through like various, not passageways, but like it's a bit of a maze of a place, so to say, until you reach the books, and you find yourself in what looks like a storage area. And she turns out and says, "Here they are, the books," and she like motions, and you can clearly see that there's a table with a candle.
Okay, then I enter the room and like try to look for, man. Anything orb related.
Give me a careful check, and according to your roll, I'll tell you what you find.
Okay.
You basically... what you find is basically a bunch of books like on the significance of this prayer and how to properly interpret this passage in the Holy Book. Like a bunch of minutiae about various religious rituals.
Is Miku also there with me?
If you brought him?
Yeah.
He would like... He looks to be very uneasy, like he didn't expect to be like... to find himself in like this important place in the monastery. If you look at him, he like looks down at the ground, but you do have his attention.
Can I like look very reassuring and just smile at him and say, "Could you help me to find books about anything about the old Rimlen culture or like?"
I can't read, but I can say if a book looks fancy.
Okay, I'll need you to point out the most fancy books and like walk through and just like look at that while I also like try to find more.
I'm also going to roll for him, but it'll be a much more difficult roll.
Yeah. It would feel so bad to just be like, "Oh no, you're useless."
He finds a copy of like the general holy book, let's say, and says, "I'm sure this says something about the ancient Rimlen." He basically brought you a Bible, like the most generic thing possible. Not saying that it's entirely useless, perhaps, but it's definitely not what you need.
I put it on the table, and can I do another careful roll, more of like the Rimlen?
Sure, but it will take time. Like time will pass while you search. Okay.
Sure. Man, so unlucky.
You also find holy, like the holy book, more copies of it. This time with some ornate manuscripts that you imagine, yeah, if I could steal this, it would be worth a lot of money.
Okay. You said the sister was with me as well?
Yeah.
Can I ask her about like books of the old Rimlen?
She would look at you and say, "Why are you interested in that?"
Because of the topic the person I'm working for is investigating right now.
She shrugs and will point you to a book about the early history of the church.
Good enough, yeah. Of course.
Which coincides with like Rimlen times, but it's not like entirely about the Rimlen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I sit down and try to find what I can about orbs there.
Okay. Are you reading thoroughly? Are you skimming? Like, what's your approach here?
Yeah, I guess I'm sort of skimming.
Then give me a careful roll. I'd say you find like the relevant portions about like the Rimlen and like their interactions with the ancient Ebri people and all that, but you need to like do a more thorough search. So while that happens, how about we check on the other group of players?
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Anghel and Muninn.
Let's do it.
You two have Jean along, and he like mutters under his breath, "You know, I'm not exactly a tourist here. What are we doing?"
Muninn would say, "We're here to collect or try to find information about these sort of ancient artifacts."
Why? You like for context, it's like you told a guy, "Oh, we're wandering around because I want to find out more about dinosaurs."
Right. Muninn would say, "Well, he wouldn't have understood the conversation between Muninn and the priest, would he?"
No.
No, okay. In which case, Muninn would say, "Well, I am a scholar of Brightland, and one of my studies is to, part of my many studies is to uncover or learn about sort of ancient history and mythology."
Right. Well, if you think it's safe, I suppose. Do we have any other business in this town?
Above board in this town, I don't think so, right? Like, it's just seeing what we can find about. We're just passing through, essentially, other than finding any information about the orb.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
To get to the prince, where do we need to go? Like, it's
West. Follow the gray
West.
road. Follow the
Oh,
gray
west.
road. Follow the gray road,
Okay.
pretty much.
oh, okay.
Although one interesting tidbit that Illona overheard was like, oh yeah, the prince might be going to the newly conquered lands. soon."
Right. I heard that. I thought about that, but he said we're not sure when it happens, right? I don't know.
Yeah, that's all you know, that at one point the prince might go there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So we need to hurry, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, and he asked me a question, didn't he? I think Muninn would say, well, we're just passing through this town, but apart from finding information about this orb, we're just passing through.
He shrugs and says, well, the sooner I'm home, the better, I suppose. And he says, I just thought about this, but do we have enough money, enough supplies for the road?
I
We
feel
have
like
supplies.
yeah.
I mean, she gave us pretty much a lot. No, it was heavy.
Yeah, it was pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I suppose Muninn could say that if we needed to or wanted to, we could quickly visit the sort of marketplace after, obviously.
I guess that might be a good idea. Can always find useful bits of information there. Well, on to your business, I suppose. He says, a little bit dejected.
Okay.
As you reach that monastery, you are greeted by a monk at the entrance who says, "Blessings of the free to you," and he extends a hand towards you. Palm up.
I think Muninn would copy his gesture.
He looks at you and says, "It's 5 courage per person to enter."
Oh. I see. So I think Muninn would.
Do we have the gold coins?
You have the gold coins, but basically he's asking you for I don't know, less $5 each. It's less than that, but let's say for the sake of argument, and you have $10,000 bills, pretty much.
Okay.
So, but we have also regular money, right?
Oh, you do.
Okay.
You would be able to pay this tax.
Yeah. Okay. I wouldn't have any trouble, or I don't mind paying it basically.
If you also pay for Jean, he will say, "I can stay outside," I guess.
If Muninn would be like, "Oh, if you're sure, then that would help. More money for the market stalls."
I don't want to give any money to these charlatans.
The Muninn would laugh and be like, "Okay, well, we'll see you when we're done."
I'll head to the market. Maybe meet up with your other friend, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay, see you there.
He nods and goes on his way. Do you pay for yourself and Anghel to enter?
Does Anghel have the regular money, or does he?
I imagine probably picked up some from your house when you went to gather supplies. Not that there was much left after the soldiers ransacked it, but you would have 5 courage.
Okay.
And what was the toll? Sorry, 15.
5 per
Or
person.
No,
5.
5 for
5 per
right,
person.
okay.
Per person, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, if Anghel doesn't sort of go to pay, I don't think Muninn would mind paying for Anghel too. Like, if it doesn't look like Anghel's about to, like... Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I'm trying to think if he would... I mean, I think he can pay it. I think...
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. He takes the money and nods and says, "Blessings of the free upon you," and he like ushers you into the monastery itself. You haven't seen like the monastery where Illona went, but this one seems bigger, like more ornate, let's say.
Okay.
And you see the monks going about their business, and as with what happened with Illona, there's also what you can clearly see as a head monk, for lack of a better term, an abbot, talking with another monk at the entrance.
Okay. I'm feeling like, I don't know if you agree, Anghel. I'm feeling like we should probably approach and ask.
Ask for permission, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. In which case, yeah, Muninn would sort of lead the approach if Anghel's like okay with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So as you approach, the two of them look at you. The junior monk says blessings of the free to you, and the more senior one doesn't say anything.
Okay. Muninn would sort of tilt their head to the junior as like a thank you sort of thing. And Muninn would turn to the senior and ask for, like, basically just asking for permission to read the sort of texts and stuff.
He says, do you wish to donate one? What's your question exactly?
Muninn would clarify, like, my friend and I wish to ask for permission to read these texts, to borrow them, so to speak.
He laughs out loud.
I don't know what's so funny.
Why would we hand our prized manuscripts to strangers? Are you thieves? Is that why you've come here?
No, absolutely not. You see, I feel like I've mentioned it 100 times now, but Muninn would say again, I am a traveling scholar from the University of Brightland, and this is my friend who is assisting me in my studies. And we simply request to without leaving the monastery, of course, to seek knowledge through these sort of scriptures.
He looks very, very suspicious of you, and he narrows his eyes and says, "With all due respect, scholar, why would we do that?"
I think Muninn would say, well, these texts that you hold could be very beneficial to me and my studies. So I'm merely just asking out of basically the kindness of your out of your generosity, basically. But I don't know how to word that properly.
He laughs again and says, "The world does not work on generosity, dear scholar."
Maybe you can pay him. Maybe that's what he wants.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that.
Can we give him one gold coin without
I'm not sure.
Flashing all the rest.
I'm not. I think we should start small, probably.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So Muninn would say, well, if that's how it's going to be, I don't mind paying a fee for this service.
Well, of course, but a traveling scholar such as yourself, well, I imagine you've come well endowed on your journey.
Well, I guess it would be a lie, so I'd probably have to, like, sneaky. But Muninn would say, I generally travel by the roads, so I don't really,
Then I don't think we have anything to discuss. I don't think we have anything to discuss in that case.
Oh, man. I suppose Muninn would say, well, what's the price?
He stops to consider and says, for a gentleman of your caliber, 500 courage, let's say. It's a large sum of money.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Not quite a gold coin, but it's still a lot.
Yeah. Muninn would sort of ponder this, because I feel like Muninn wouldn't carry that much amount. Muninn definitely wouldn't carry that amount, like not including the gold coins.
Yeah.
And say, oh, hang on a minute. Could we use aspects, probably? Or stunts, even, in this case.
Yeah, I'm thinking I can use a stunt. Bro.
I mean, it might be a bit extreme, but, like, I feel like that could come in handy.
I mean, I just hope that it's going to be worth it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Well, because you've got that wood carving stunt, right?
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about that.
It's not on cooldown, is it? Like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, let's use it, and then find out. Like,
It's not. But above board, yeah, I would accept if you want to use that stunt show and tell, but because manuscripts are valuable items and wood isn't, it would have to be like that you could carve something impressive. Either in quality or size, I more leave that up to you.
Like, I need to come up with something impressive. What do monasteries have? Like, what kind of, like, what?
Wooden objects, icons. I don't know if you guys know what icons are. They're basically like paintings of saints that are carved in wood.
right. Yeah.
I could carve them a face.
I think meanwhile...
So funny, though.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Muninn in the background, we were like, you see, funny you should mention that. My friend here, like, hyping them up.
Oh my god. I mean, could it be that, Anghel is like carving and in the meantime they let Muninn in or something?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna, no, I don't think, no, go ahead.
Well, because it is your stunt, then yes, the priests, the monks rather, would accept. But yeah, it would be in exchange for you carving the icon of a saint. Now it's a longer process, but they are willing to like expedite it in your case. But it will take you a bit of time.
Okay.
Let's say while
good, because he wasn't going to be much help anyway. So
while Muninn is searching, let's say.
Cool.
This is a very optional question, Show&Tell. Would you choose like a saint of that like favors the poor, or one known for their healing, or do you have any preferences in that regard? Entirely optional question.
Is there someone who favors the handicapped or something?
Yeah,
Someone who...
definitely.
Yeah, that one.
Sure. Then you do so. Under the supervision of a monk who, because it's your stunt, looks like it's almost anime, like how jaw agape he stares at you in awe as you work. You're clearly a master of your craft.
Yay me.
And the abbot would say, same thing as happened with Illona, would order someone rather to guide you to their store of manuscripts. And I would need you to do me a roll, a Muninn, to see what you find. A careful roll.
Okay. Oh no.
You find you find like stuff that doesn't necessarily seem useful, like what's the meaning of this prayer, like how to properly interpret this passage of the holy book, etc., etc. You also find the holy book itself, which isn't, surprisingly, not the most common item. And you also find like a general history of the church, but you can clearly tell that it's like skimming over the facts.
Okay. I think in that case, Muninn would probably ask, because there's someone sort of accompanying.
Yeah.
Okay. Muninn was ask them, like, none of these really sort of are, no offense, what I'm looking for. I don't suppose you have anything along the lines of, or anything that has anything to do with, like, you know, like to do with the ancient Rimlen.
He like has a very confused expression when you say that, and then he says, "We might, I suppose."
May you lead me to those scriptures?
I might. He extends a hand.
Muninn would roll their eyes and give them probably 5 to 10 courage, depending on.
5 is like pocket change, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. In which case, probably like 10.
Okay. With 10, he sighs. You've clearly not given him a lot, so he's just going to pick up a book about the general history of the church, not as like skimmy as the one you saw, but clearly not as detailed as you're looking for.
Okay. In which case, Moon would be like, if I double that, will you take me to what I'm really looking for? Like, as in, like, looking to wherever he put the courage, like, to his pocket or his hand or whatever.
He extends a hand.
Moon would probably put 15 just for good measure.
Okay. He takes it and gives you like a very fake smile, and he will take you to not take you, but he will hand you a book about like specifically the early history of the church, like specifically dealing with their interactions with the ancient Rimlen, etc., etc.
Okay. I feel like this is probably a little bit more, but I feel like this still, I suppose it doesn't hurt to ask. Moon would ask, and this is really the best you have?
Give me a careful roll to like interpret his like body language, etc.
Okay.
He's like shifting around and he like doesn't look you in the eyes. He's clearly hiding something. but he says it's the best we have.
Muninn would like, raise their eyebrows and like clearly noticing that they're lying and say, we all, Coleman, we both know that's not true. What would it take for you to bring me what I'm really looking for?
Look, you're asking for the most prized books in our possession. I just can't take you there. Well, I probably can't.
Well, you have... you don't necessarily have to take me there. Just point me in the right direction, and you'll have my word that none of the... I am a person of knowledge. I am a traveling scholar. I promise you that none of the scriptures or books will be damaged so much as to have a scratch on them.
Give me a careful roll and I'll oppose with his, because you're definitely asking something of him. Okay. He shifts around and once again extends a hand towards you.
Oh man.
Muninn would probably give them not all of their no, definitely not all of their courage. Muninn would give them a considerable amount of courage, but obviously not, do you know what I mean? Not too much.
Well, are you talking tens or into the hundreds? How much?
Oh, okay. Probably I don't know how much is too much for this sort of thing. Probably 50?
Just for context's sake, you are basically asking him hey, can you point me towards the vault of your bank or something like that?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, in which case probably 100 on the dot.
Okay. That would probably not exhaust your supply, your reserves of money, but it would definitely come close.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Okay. He would take it, and then he will motion for you to follow him as he opens a door that has cobwebs on it. It clearly doesn't look to be used very often, and he says, "Please make your search quick. Bring whichever book you're interested in here. You can read it here, but you can't be seen in there."
Okay. I'll be as quick as I can.
Okay.
And then Muninn would sort of walk in.
Yeah, you see various ancient not ancient because they're not thousands of years old or whatever, but they're clearly very old and worn and carefully tended to, and a lot of them look to be very valuable. Now, I actually would like to compel you, Muninn.
Okay.
Let me look up your sheet exactly, because obviously I need to find your exact aspect to compel. Doing this on my phone is awkward. Give me a second. Yeah, your Keeper of Secrets, Seeker of Knowledge. Specifically the keeper part. Sure, you're going to research the orb, etc. while you're here. But also, before the whole orb Rimlen business happened, you were a seeker of knowledge in general. And you've just been led into not unimportant monastery's vault, pretty much. You're going to try to sneak a manuscript away of your choice.
Oh. Interesting. I would love to do that, but I'm not sure.
You have your bag with you, I will say.
Yeah. And I can choose to agree or disagree.
Mm-hmm.
What does everyone else think? Like, should I do it?
I mean, what are the okay?
I guess
like
they'd probably.
what?
Sorry, go on.
You would need to use your sneaky for that, or
Probably.
okay. Oh, that's bad. I don't know.
That's a good question. Yeah. So I wouldn't know whether or not to like. I wouldn't know whether or not I.
Can he do it after he? Oh,
Well, he's only going to be let inside of here once.
right.
Like, yeah.
So while he will like the compel is basically while you're looking for the manuscript you mentioned, like the ancient Rimlen, you will also like permanently take another manuscript of your choice.
Right. Yeah.
So if they notice before he gets a chance to read what we need, they'll probably, I don't know what. Like we're risking. Okay, I don't know. I think if you want to, you can do it.
It's very high risk, but also very high reward.
Yeah. See, I would love to do it, but
yeah, I feel like it's definitely something Muninn would.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's definitely within their character.
So
I feel like I would. Yeah, do you know what? We're only passing through this town. I know it's a little bit reckless. We're only passing through, so I would not. Yeah, I think I'd accept it.
Okay, here is your shiny fate point. Now, what manuscript specifically? What are you interested in? That's like not necessarily related to your search currently.
I feel like maybe something to do with. As far as specifics go, I'm not sure. Probably something to do with mythology or history. Obviously, but like, or maybe even. I'm not sure. I was gonna say maybe even language, but I'm not sure about that one. I feel like the other two are more in there.
I would say even if you say I want to find a book about botany or something, I will like grant that to you. Like even the most outlandish topics. It might not be like super in depth, but it will definitely be something.
Okay. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I feel like yeah, I'm not sure. If there's like, I don't want to say like, if you sorry, I can't talk. If there's any sort of like suggestions that you would give or whatever, then I wouldn't mind like taking that, if you know what I mean.
Well, the other players are also free to suggest stuff to you. As to like, again, the vault is surprisingly large. Let's say, vault is not the right term, but I'm just using it for simplicity's sake. And you are able to find books on even like niche topics that would be like very relevant to like the researchers over in Brightland. Like you find say even ancient chronicles that are thought to be long lost. Oh, there's a copy of that ancient chronicle over here. That's just like in terms of history. In terms of language, you can find like here's notes on like the language of the ancient Rima, which is again a very niche subject. Like there's all sorts of subjects here, and you can find valuable books on most of them.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like history would probably Like I feel like mainly it's a toss up between language and history, but I feel like a chronicle of history would be more to chew on, if you know what I mean.
Are you interested in the history of this country, of the world, or of the Rimlen, or whichever?
Probably. When you say the world, do you mean like a generalized, like everywhere sort of thing?
From creation to the present, yeah.
Probably something like that, yeah.
Okay. You would definitely find those. Are you interested in like an older work, like a source that's like or that's completely unknown to the scholars in Brightland, say, or like a more modern work that's perhaps more comprehensive?
I feel like probably an older work, because that must be like that sounds more rare. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Sure. Then yeah, I'd say you would find like an ancient tome titled A History of the World from Creation to the Reign of Prince Dan. This is just like a chronological term. You don't necessarily know like, oh, is it 100 years or 200 years ago or whatever. But
right.
It definitely looks like a very old tome, and it's definitely one you haven't like heard of before, but like clearly looks old, but it's also like plated with gold. It clearly like you would only plate a book with gold if it's like truly something important.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. Just out of curiosity as well, as long as I don't somehow lose this book, like maybe because we've been found out or something, I'm wondering whether or not like one of my stunts is gaining +2 clever when reading an old book.
Mm-hmm.
Could I suppose that obviously that would like apply to this, and I could use it like technically maybe once whenever or not.
Yeah, well, it's a big book, so it will be difficult to like read in one sitting. So for each sitting, I will allow you to improve your roll, definitely, because that's
cool.
like the exact wording of the stunt. I'll also mention that like as you like inspect the book, you will see that it's not like written in either the language of the Rima or the old Rimlen, but rather of a language that's considered like very niche. There are people who know it. You probably only know like bits and pieces, so that's why that bonus will be especially relevant. But basically, Old Norodi basically is what the language is called.
Yeah. Cool. All right, sweet. That sounds good. Thanks for sort of suggesting that, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have done it.
I mean, we'll see if you manage to get away with it. Probably not next episode, because we're already quite a bit past time. I'll say, Ashen, Illona, would you like to learn what you find out from that book now, or would you like to wait for the next session?
I don't really mind. I can wait. Depends on how you guys are feeling, if you're tired or not.
I personally like. I mean, I'm not that tired personally, so I don't mind either way. Like, it's up to you guys.
I'm a little tired, but it's fine. You know, I don't know.
Teeironor, how about you?
Yeah.
Well, from it won't like take too long, so I'm willing to like tell you what you find out.
All right, let's go with that.
Okay.
Cool.
So like the book you found was like a history of like a history of the church, fairly general, but it does deal with like its ancient history. And like, are you looking specifically for like information about the orbs, or just like general information?
Mostly orb.
Okay. The orbs are more or less mentioned in passing. You see that the ancient Rimlen and Yona priests were given these orbs by demons, the book says, but these magical artifacts lost their power once the Faith of the Free came around. That's more or less what you find about the orbs specifically. And now they're buried and long forgotten, and some of them are destroyed, and they should stay that way, is what the book
All
says.
right.
Good point.
Okay.
Sweet.
I mean, that's what you find if you're specifically looking for the orbs. But if you have any more detailed questions, I think it's fair to ask them next time. What do you think?
That sounds great.
That sounds good, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So, what did you all think of today's episode? A lot of research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of carving, too.
Yeah.
And Anghel's still there. I really hope that we get some.
You will create a masterwork.
I wanted to ask if there were pictures in the book he was stealing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there definitely will be. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
perfect.
So I really hope you get that.
Yeah. Anghel, you will create a masterwork. I'm not sure if these like greedy monks will be too happy about like a saint who helps the handicapped, but it's a masterwork at the very least.
Well, too bad for them.
Yeah.
I don't take commissions.
Good one. Yeah. Lots of reading, lots of information to be found. But information is not the only thing that's to be found in this town. I will say that much.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Fun story. In the other campaign I'm running, like in the third or so episode, I said, and you're in this town now, feel free to like explore until a certain event happens, and they decided, now we're gonna wait around until that event happens. And because of that, bad stuff happened, let's say. But yeah. I'm not,
They just like didn't want to explore.
They just they sat and played cards, basically.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Now, of course, you guys are free to do whichever you like. Don't take this as like a thing where if you don't notice that in that corner of that house there's like a fly that's carrying a key of gold or something. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Stupid example, but yeah, you get the point.
Yeah, we feel ya.
But what are your thoughts specifically? Because I've mostly given mine at this point.
I mean, I thought it was a really good session. I feel like we've done quite a bit in terms of progression. And yeah, I mean, obviously Muninn's like happy as Larry, like being able to just like steal like ancient scripture. Or at least attempting to. We don't know if they've got it like permanently or not. But I mean, yeah, I thought it was really good.
I thought the sneaking past the elderly's gardens was the best part. That was awesome.
like we had the best chances and we just ruined it.
Mm-hmm. Again, the people who are in your path were entirely determined by dice rolls.
Yeah.
If you had rolled poorly, you, I don't know, would have stumbled upon like a mercenary's house, and he happens to be there along with his troops. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh no.
That would have been fun. Instead, you just met old people and an old dog.
Yeah.
No, we were really lucky, to be honest.
But yeah, this session was fun, definitely. And thank you all for attending. Well, as usual. I'm going to roll the dice to see like in which order. I'm going to ask you to talk about yourselves, so give me a moment. Okay. Well, dear viewers, it's the exact same order as the introductions. So, dear viewers, thank you once again for watching and listening to us. Let's see what these lovely people are up to in the next few days, weeks, however long they want to talk about. And we're going to start according to the dice with Ashen. Could you please go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself and what you're doing?
Yes, I actually forgot that we were recording. But yeah, I paint stuff. So if you like art or want something drawn for you, you can contact me on Instagram and I'll happily do it.
That's very generous, I should say. And she's a great artist. You can check out her Instagram. She's done some pretty great stuff. Thank you, Ashen.
Thank you.
And next, according to the dice, would be, as in the beginning, Show and Tell. Could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing, etc., etc.?
Yes. Hi, I'm Show&Tell. I have a YouTube channel on which I react to anime mostly. And yeah, I'm having fun. I talk a lot.
She does a great job. Do check her out if that's your thing. Thank you very much, Show&Tell. And next, according to the dice, would be Delyrath. Could you please go ahead and talk a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, of course. So, of course, I'm Dely. I am a Goblin VTuber and NB Smoothbrain. I stream variety on Twitch. So, I mean, I'm a big Dark Souls fan, but I mean, generally speaking, I stream a variety of things, whether that be games or just chatting or anything like that. So if you want to come along, you're more than welcome. I love meeting new people. At the moment, my schedule's a little bit sort of up in the air, but I post regular updates on or at least I try to, on my Twitter and my Discord server.
Nice. They do a great job with what they do, and they are an incredibly fun streamer. So I definitely recommend that you check them out.
Thank you.
also regarding the scheduling bit, people who manage to stick to their schedules scare me. I'm looking at you, Show&Tell. Your ability to stick to your schedule is terrifying, honestly.
Yeah, I do my best.
Well, thank you, Dely. And I was your Dungeon Master, Game Master, Teeironor. I do this series and another series that's focused on the World of Warcraft universe. That's also a lot of fun. That's been running for a bit of a longer while. And I guess I'm not going to blather about stuff that I don't usually do, even though I try to do. But yeah, thank you, dear viewers, as usual, for watching and listening to us. We shall be back next week, and we shall see you all there. Goodbye, everybody.